At first glance, Rocket the parrot and Jewel the dog seem like they would never get along. One is a bird with bright feathers, and the other is a bundle of furry energy. Their home was once filled with noisy competition, but now it's filled with the warmth of an incredible bond. Their story shows how two very different animals can learn to trust each other and become the best of friends, proving that family isn't about being the same. Before Jewel arrived, the house belonged to Rocket. He was a beautiful parrot with a huge personality who acted like he was the king of the home. With feathers that shine in the light and a confident attitude, he was much more than just a pet. He was the center of his owner's world. From the very beginning, he had a special way of capturing everyone's heart and making it clear that he was in charge of the household. Then, a little ball of fur named Jewel came into the picture and changed everything. She was an energetic and stubborn puppy, full of a wild and playful spirit. Jewel loved to push boundaries and test the rules, but there was one thing she absolutely refused to do: share attention. This became a big problem very quickly, especially when it came to getting affection from her owner. Her jealousy was immediate and obvious. The first few weeks with both of them in the house were pure chaos. Whenever Rocket would perch on his owner's shoulder for a cuddle, Jewel would start barking, letting everyone know that she wanted that spot for herself. Rocket, not being one to back down, would often swoop close by, which would cause Jewel to leap up and chase after him, her paws flying. The two were constantly bickering and competing over everything from toys to sleeping spots. It seemed like a mistake had been made in bringing them together, and there was a real worry that they would never find a way to get along peacefully. But over time, something slowly started to change. The little battles happened less often, and the frantic chasing began to soften. The space between them started to feel less like a battlefield and more like common ground. One afternoon, a real breakthrough happened. Their owner turned around to see them standing quietly, nose to beak. Rocket didn't fly away in a panic, and Jewel didn't snap or bark. In that simple, quiet moment, their entire relationship shifted. They were no longer rivals. From that day forward, everything was different. They began eating side by side like old friends and would even take turns drinking water from the same bowl. They developed their own special games, and playing fetch somehow became a ritual they did together. Of course, it wasn't always perfect. Sometimes Jewel, in her excitement, would play a little too roughly, and Rocket would let out a loud squawk in protest. But there was never any real anger between them. Rocket would just shake it off. Jewel would learn to be more gentle, and they would be back to playing together just minutes later, their trust in each other growing stronger each day. The true depth of their bond became completely clear one morning. Jewel was resting quietly on the sofa when Rocket gently flew over, landed, and settled right on her back. There was no noise or sudden movement, just a parrot and a dog completely comfortable and trusting of one another. This was more than just a simple friendship. They had become brothers. Today, they are inseparable. Jewel watches over Rocket protectively, and Rocket follows Jewel through every game and into every corner of the house. Rocket and Jewel's story is a beautiful reminder that friendship isn't about being the same. It's about learning to trust each other, forgiving quickly, and choosing to be together, even when you're very different. Their bond shows that love doesn't care about size, species, or who was there first. If this story of an unlikely brotherhood touched you, give it a like to celebrate their amazing friendship.